Hey guys, it's Tiffany from Hess Homeschool, and today we are going to answer the question that I'm asked basically every time someone finds out I homeschool. Why? Let's get to it. Okay, so as my disclaimer, I would like to say that we do not homeschool because public school is the devil. Here's what I'd like to say. My husband went to public school. I went to public school. We had good experiences and we had bad experiences. You're going to do that with everything. Everything's going to have pros and cons. So it is not the reason. We did not say public school is the worst, so we are doing homeschool. So that was number one. Number two, did I plan on homeschooling? Absolutely not. Not even a little bit. Wasn't even on my radar. Was never an option. So, how did we get here? First off, my then 4-year-old was ready for preschool, all signed up, enrolled, everything. Never stepped foot into the place because I always had trouble with the idea of sending him away for that long. In the county I live in, it is not a small transition. It is from 0 to being home all the time to going straight to a full day, 5 days a week. Now, there are counties that don't do that, and I really like the smaller transition where it's a shorter day and less days a week. I like that personally. But in the county, we do, and kids do fine with it. I'm always with my kids, so I don't think he would have done very well with it. So that's number one for us. And I'm a helicopter mom. That's even separate, but I'm bad. So that doesn't help. Okay, 2, I do not drive. Not even a little bit. I'm learning at my age to drive. Yes, I finally have my learners and I'm a grown adult with 3 kids. But I don't drive. A normal kid gets sick and needs their mom and their mom can go get them. That wasn't an option for me. Someone else would have had to do it. My husband works in the county and probably could every single time, but that doesn't make it easier on me not being able to be there. Now, my son is absolutely obsessed with Jesus, which is awesome. I love it. And it's fantastic for kids to be that way and go into another setting and share that. My oldest is more of a follower. If he would say something about Jesus or anything that would make someone else uncomfortable, he would then kind of retreat and go with the flow. He's very big on following whoever's next to them. And I was scared for his young age at the time to just send him in there to kind of, it would make him nervous, you know, the little, that iffy moment when you talk about something that makes people feel uncomfortable. I didn't want him to have to see that anybody ever feels uncomfortable talking about Jesus. That made me sad for him. Okay, so that's another one. There's lots of things here. So I always had trouble with it. Always the idea of sending him away that long right away, it was scary to me, which most moms have that anxiety. Does that mean everyone's going to homeschool? No, obviously not. But so we had that issue. And I looked up the preschool assessment and what they kind of learn in preschool. And when I looked on it, I saw that my son knew all of it except the sounds. He didn't know phonics yet. So I literally was bawling. Okay, I'm looking this up. I'm crying. I don't want to lose him so early for just the sounds. So I bring it to my husband who is against it. Absolutely not. We're not homeschooling. So I bring it to my husband and say, okay, what if we just do 1 year preschool, which is not mandatory in our state anyway, or wasn't at the time. Can we just do preschool and then we'll send him away? And his words were, you have 1 year. 1 year. Okay. We'll work through this. You'll get him what he needs for preschool and then we're gonna send him to school. No big thing. So, 1 year. What we did in that 1 year was saw all the pros. We saw him just absolutely strive for excellence. He did so well. He was reading at the end of the year, small, obviously those little learn to read books, but it was so exciting to watch, and I got to see that moment, that click, that light bulb, and it was addictive. Watching that little I got this moment was, I see why teachers teach. Like the feeling of being part of that it was amazing, and I was very happy about it. So I never brought it to my husband again. I never said, okay, can we do it one more year? He even said, when he said 1 year, he said, we're not gonna, if I agree to this, you can't ask me every year to keep him home. It's not fair to do that to me. And I said, I agreed. By the end of that year, as well as he did, with the first year literally had no cons. It was just pros all year long. I'm not saying that there's no cons in homeschool. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that year went so well. My husband then said, can we do this every year? Would you be willing to teach him every year? Once again, that wasn't my goal ever. I knew my kids would go to public school. It never crossed my mind. So we found curriculum. We found everything that worked for us, and it was just so much fun. We got to add in field trips. We got to add in, he would run errands with us and do all the things that if he were in a classroom he wouldn't get to do, unless it was a field trip. So he goes to the bank and he goes to the, post office. He knows how the world functions, and it was so fun to watch him be part of it that it got addictive. It got addictive to watch him learn. Now, once again, this doesn't mean, I do not say homeschooling is for everybody, because I absolutely do not believe that at all. I don't believe public school's for everybody. I believe that is a family by family decision, and I think God literally was like, okay, Tiffany, you need to listen. This is what you're going to do. Because with me, I always joke that normal people hear this little tugging at their heart when it's me. God's like, neon sign, this is what you have to do it. And he kind of pushes me because I'm kind of stubborn in the way that no, that can't be right. So like I said, my husband and I both went to public school. We loved it. As much as a kid likes school. I loved grade school, high school. I was kind of over school by that time. But something I saw when we started homeschooling, I'm learning with him, for one. Now I have 2 students, 3 if you count my toddler, who loves to learn, which is super fun to see. But I'm learning with him, and I'm learning that I like learning. I didn't in high school because it was an obligation and I had to, and I'm the person who says, oh, if I have to, I don't want to do it. But in teaching the kids and watching it click, we're learning so much together that it's making it so fun. And like I said, it's seriously addictive to watch your kid grow. Watch them actually step by step go from point A to point B. My second son now is learning the sounds of letters, and he's such a show off. So excited when he learns something. They just enjoy the praise, and I enjoy giving the praise. I get so excited. I would also like to put out the disclaimer. A lot of people say, is it easy? No. No, it's not. The number one con, I don't get a break, ever, unless the kids are at grandparents, which is actually where we are now. But that's the only thing that I can seriously say would be, it's exhausting sometimes, and sometimes it's just fun. For instance, we are not doing school today. Why? Because it's fall and we don't want to. It's pretty out. It's not, of course, it's still hot out, but it's slowly getting into the cool weather, and we start in July during the hotter, gross season. So September, we have birthdays, we have prettier weather. We want to play, and we can. We play a lot. We're not in school all day. We do tons of stuff. We learn tons of stuff, and we still have time to play. My kids play so much. They have worksheets, learning together, reading, and then just tons of play and time together. I'm not missing anything. And I know some people don't have that option. I'm not saying everyone quit your jobs and do homeschool. I'm not saying you can't homeschool while you have a job. All of that's a whole different video. these are the reasons I homeschool. Also, I get to put our faith in our homeschool. They have a Bible class. We talk about God openly, and it's no big deal. I know you can't always in school. Some schools do. Some schools, if you can do private tuition, or there's so many routes that may work for you. Some schools are public and they let the kids talk about it freely. They're just not allowed to teach it. And I think that's amazing and wonderful, and I love it. And I just like that my kids, they pray before they have lunch. They pray before they, we have that mixture. And with the Becca, which is what we use, even when they're writing a sentence, it's God made the pets, God made the, or it has something to do with God creating the world, or God, it's all intertwined. It's just this big loop, and I love it. I love that they get to see it in everything. And so even in their play, I get to watch it come to life. And I get to watch moments that we'll read a story during bedtime, yes, not during the school day, during bedtime, or during they'll bring me a book, we'll read a story, and that will come to life in their play, in their imaginative play. They just bring it up, and they're now these characters, and their imagination is always going. They always have time to just touch stuff, play stuff, put their hands on stuff, play in the dirt. My son was making cookie dough the other day, and he puts his hand to the side and says, "It's really mud." I didn't teach him to make a mud pie, but they're learning just by being outside. And I hate that in school you don't get that much time out there. I know it's a necessity to be in the classroom with that many kids and get enough done, and they probably don't have enough hours in the day with all the kids, and I hate that for them, and I know in some schools they do get to. But my kids literally have that opportunity all the time to walk outside. If it is pretty, we will play and then do school and then play some more. So every decision for every family is going to be different. It's not going to work for everybody. It's not. Some people work so much that they don't have the time to put into it what they need to. Some have a kid that doesn't have an interest in listening at home like that. But when it comes to work, they see home as a place to play. And some kids just want to be in school. Some kids want to be around kids that much, and that's awesome. Side note, my kids go to church. They see lots of people, lots of kids. I swear I don't hide them under the bed until it's time to go out. They actually see people. It's totally fine. But this doesn't work for everybody. But these are reasons that we do it. This is why we've chosen this path. I truly think that God pointed us this way. And I also think God will nudge you if it's your decision. I think that he'll tell you. We didn't have a choice. He literally was like, "Tiffany, this is what you're doing." And luckily later, my husband, who is now my biggest advocate, he's amazing when it comes to, he is my biggest support when it comes to homeschool. The other day, or actually a while back, he told me, "If something ever happened to you, this is so good for our family, I would find a way to homeschool." So that phrase meant so much to me, because it says, I see what we're doing is the right thing for our family. Everybody's family is different. It's not going to work for everybody, and some people it's amazing for. It's genuinely an experience that you get to see every moment. You get to watch them grow every second, and it is exhausting, and it's hard, but it's fun. And sometimes people are like, "But what if my kid doesn't listen?" My kids don't listen all the time. What kid listens all the time? That doesn't mean that you can't do it. My kids will throw their tantrum, go to the room, change the attitude, and come back. And some days, everyone is in a bad mood, including mommy, and we will go, "You know what? We're going to do this on a different day. It's okay." So whatever works for you, I think it's your decision. I think that God will lead you into where you're going with your school, with your family, and I'm thankful that we get to do this. I'm thankful that we have the time, the place, we have everything that we need, and I'm so thankful for that, and I'm glad that we made the decision that we made. Once again, it is not for everybody. Some people it's not for them, and that's okay. I don't see anything wrong with picking one way or the other. It is your family and it is your path, and you will be put on the right path. And that's my opinion, obviously. All of these are my opinions, so don't take them as fact. This is just what works for us. Once again, I'm going to do a frequently asked question video soon, so we can get some more in-depth. This video could go on forever if I answered all of the questions. But that's my main one, is why, and does your family support it? No, at first they did not. Like, at first you get the, you're going to make them weird. If you've met me, my kids were going to be weird either way. Their parents have doomed them. We're weird people, and that's okay. But, no, at first everyone was concerned, and I get defensive, and I don't mean to, and I'm learning that it's out of love. Like, they're worried about your kids. They don't know. It was new to me. Why is it not going to be new to them? So, now they're huge fans. They help buy curriculum. They help get school supplies. They show them off. They're proud of their grandkids, and I love it. They're proud of their nieces and nephews, and the cousins ask, why don't they go to school like I do? And so it's fun conversations. It's an open conversation. It's not an uncomfortable thing. I'll try to get more of this up. I'll try to get more information for you. I'd like more content where we talk. I would love to hear from you. I love the messages. I love to see you guys view this stuff. Feel free to share. Feel free to comment, like, tell me what you want to see. I would love to give you more content. And just have a wonderful day.